Okay, everybody, here we go. Another freak show week, and it's going to be just freaking lovely. So, yes, Monday, December 19, 2022. People, let's start off with, with this. And I don't know about you, but I want to know what you think about what I'm about to tell you here. So it turns out that loan defaults continue to rise at an alarming pace. As a matter of fact, at their fastest pace ever. So loan defaults are skyrocketing. Automobile repossessions, skyrocketing. Meanwhile, credit card debt is hyper ballooning. People continue to swipe their credit cards. This phenomenon, we covered it right here. We said, I don't know how long ago, that we would see exactly what we're seeing now. Unless you really live under a rock somewhere, and I don't know, maybe some of you do. Sometimes I wish I did, and I can disconnect myself from this entire environment. The fist feeding of bullshit and lies and crap to people via the television is reaching a fever pitch yet again. Everything is phenomenal. Everything is great. Central banks are doing everything they can to try to stop inflation. And none of it is true. And that's what really gets to me here. People are hurting on a grand scale, and they don't know any way out other than to swipe that credit card, swipe that credit card, swipe that credit card. Again, assuring themselves a seat on the dog shit train down the rat hole into financial obscurity. And they're not going to stop. We are witnessing a phenomenon, again, that you and I knew would happen from I don't know how many years ago. This creation of a new feudal system, a new two-tier society, extreme haves, extreme have-nots, and the middle class just literally getting squashed down to the lower rung of society, and all in an effort here to make people dependent on the system. And look, this mechanism here, you are well aware of this, is only going to get worse. And people are doing it to themselves. I mean, they're giving people enough rope, enough to hang themselves, causing people to struggle, causing people to deal with skyrocketing inflation, which continues to rise. I'm sitting here this morning flipping through the mainstream financial channels, and they're selling another lie. Well, it's part of the same lie. Inflation is getting better. Things are looking rosy down the line. No, they're not. Inflation continues to rise. It is maybe not hitting the targets that the so-called rocket scientists, brain-dead, retarded economists keep putting out. We're doing better because we're not hitting the targets that the imbecile freaking whatever these freaking people are. Economists are supposed to know everything. No, it's all bullshit anyway. I don't even think these people exist. I think these so-called polled economists, they just made up. They just conjured up out of thin air. They make these studies up and they fist feed that to you and me. It's all bullshit. Like all the data they give us, it's all nonsense. So anyway, so with that said, that's the situation here. I want you to ponder this. We have a global economy contracting at its fastest pace on record ever. We've never seen anything like this in the history of the financial world. We have loan defaults skyrocketing here. We have automobile repossessions skyrocketing. Meanwhile, people continue to swipe those credit cards. And according to President Bidenstein, Mummy Man himself, looks like the ghoul, doesn't he? People are earning more money. This is bullshit. Real wages, people, are falling off of a cliff faster than they ever have before. That is what people are earning based against inflation. And central banks, what are they doing? What did we hear over the weekend out of the mouth of Yellowstone Powell? We're going to continue to raise rates here. And we're hearing the same thing, exact rhetoric out of the Bank of England, the Swiss National Bank, European Central Bank. I mean, all of them, they're all saying the same things, but they don't coordinate. You know that. You know how they don't, because Powell said they don't. They talk all the time on the phone. but they do not coordinate bullshit. And they're all saying the same thing here. Tell me again, please, what is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome? I think that actually isn't the definition of insanity, but it sure sounds right to me. So central banks are going to continue to raise rates in an environment where the economy is cratering, where we have Fed President Daly saying more people need to lose their jobs. In other words, the economy has to get worse for inflation to slow down. Meanwhile, people, the silence remains deafening. It's deafening to me. Not a peep, not a word, not a hint, not a clue of the number one thing that central banks could actually do to stop inflation in its tracks, and that is contract the money supply. Why are you not hearing this? You know it as well as I do, because the goal here of central banks is to continue to inflate by any means necessary, whatever they got to do. This is the biggest secret being held from the people of the world, I think, right now, in probably financial history, because you're not hearing it anywhere, how central banks have the power to contract the money supply by forcing financial institutions to hold higher capital reserves. That would contract the money supply. By doing so, inflation would disappear. But no, they're out here telling you that they got to raise rates, they got to raise rates, they got to raise rates. And eventually, someday in the future, whenever that may be, we're going to get lower inflation and people are going to start partying like it's 1999. Oh, we passed 1999. I guess it didn't work out too well. But you see what I'm talking about? So more of the same bullshit, rhetoric, dog shit, cat shit, bird shit, reptile shit, ant shit, roach shit, whatever other kind of shit you can think about, they're going to be flinging right in your freaking face, and they're expecting you to, smile as that stuff hits you in the freaking face. Telling you people, they're really on a mission to destroy all of us, honestly. So here's another big piece of news. This guy has been explaining that commodities are the place to be for a very, very long time. We've seen crude oil and energy prices fall as of late here, but it's not going to last. We got a warning here from energy producers saying they're at extremely low capacity. What do we know is going to happen moving forward here? The pressure on the people of the middle class is going to continue to get greater and greater. Look, the well-off and the rich, they can pay higher prices for things, you understand? But people that are already struggling, swiping that credit card as if there's no tomorrow, and there isn't any tomorrow for these people in the sense that they can maintain that illusion moving forward, they're going to starve people to death, okay? And they're going to crush people to death under skyrocketing energy prices. This is their next move. That's their next move here. So be prepared for it. Maybe even another mysterious disease process that they're going to want to vax you for. That might come out too. Be ready for anything. I've been telling people to have the high ground for years. Be ready for whatever they're going to throw at us, people. I'm telling you, because we haven't even seen anything as of yet. So with regard to commodity prices, I really feel that's the place to be. There's a lot of spots to be in here right now. Large cap dividend paying ETF stocks as a hedge in this market, which is eventually going to crumble. But I don't think it's anytime soon just yet, because central banks aren't done inflating by a long shot. They're going to continue to buy the debt. They're going to continue to give the illusion or push the illusion that things are stable and things are okay. That's how you know they're not okay, all right? So bet against the debt, become your own central bank. Maybe look at, there's several exchange-traded funds out here that will give you exposure to commodities. I think you need to hold this stuff in your own hand, gold and silver. I think these assets are going to skyrocket moving forward here. And look, all this is predicated upon the debt market meltdown, which is coming. Eventually, we're seeing cracks in it all over the place here. But central banks are going to continue to fake, continue to project the illusion of stability here. And that's why I still believe that the stock market may run higher depending on what the relative strength of the dollar does, depending on what the 10-year yield does, and the MMRI. Right now, the MMRI came up this morning. Last time I looked at it, it was 231. So a little more risk in this market right now. The relative dollar strength is about flat this morning. 10-year yield slightly higher. You got cryptocurrencies under a little tiny bit of pressure. Gold and silver relatively flat. Crude oil catching a bid. Stock futures this morning are, I would say, at the flat line here. Doesn't look like anything dramatic is going to happen. Look, we know where to look. We know what we're doing, and we know why we're doing it. So putting together the picture of what's happening around us and ignoring the propaganda ministry. Everything is fine. You're doing great. People are, couldn't be doing better. Really, honestly, no. And I don't think I need to tell you that, because I'm sure a lot of you out here are saying, hold on a minute, that's not what I'm seeing. But that's the job of the propaganda ministry, is to propagandize you and try to convince you that what you're seeing and feeling for yourself is not real. Float out retarded presidents to tell you that inflation is coming down, to tell you that people are earning more money. Float out Fed presidents that are going to try to keep you off balance. This one's going to say that story. This one's going to tell you another tale. That's just the way it is. You got to wade through the bullshit and be able to see what's coming on down the pike here. So look, for you and I, it just doesn't change a damn thing. We're going to remain on track, remain aware, keep the high ground, bet against the debt, become your own central bank, hold hard assets, maybe gain some access to commodities here as well. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put together a list of commodity ETFs that you might want to look at here. Okay, I'm not recommending you buy any of these things, okay, because I already told you, I got in trouble for this twice. But I am going to put together a list, and I'm going to put it out in my newsletter. So if you are not a subscriber to my newsletter, it's free to everybody. Description of this video, along with the MMRI and everything else. So I'll put that together. I'll get that out like today or tomorrow, that ETF list, which will give you exposure to commodities here other than gold and silver. Anyway, that's where we stand, people. I think you have a really good handle on it. Put this stuff together. Let me know what you think. Are you seeing the same things as Greg Mannarino, or something a little bit different here? And look, just because I come out here every day, twice a day, and I tell you what's on my mind, right or wrong, I tell you what I'm thinking as clearly and as directly as I can. Some people can't handle that. And that's okay. It doesn't mean I'm right either. All right. I'm just telling you what I see. And I think gauging from, do you realize, honestly, I want to tell all of you a big secret here. This blog is nearing 100 million views. 100 million views. You know what that tells me? That tells me I'm doing something right. And all of you, this is, are a key here. You're the ones that get my work out here. I'm nowhere. I am nowhere. What kind of a guy like me has no social media exposure? Well, you're looking at one. And meanwhile, I'm nearing on 100 million views. That's all of you. That's all of you getting this stuff out there. I can't thank you enough for that. This guy here loves you a lot. Please comment. Let me know what you're seeing. It's important. And I will see all of you at the end of the day, okay?